Hello and good morning, it's Phil Thatch and I'm here today at the Ozone Falls State Natural Area. First time I've ever been here. Today's December 17th. It's about 2 minutes before official sunrise and it's about 35 degrees outside. And as I look around, there is some areas have a little bit of snow. I don't know if you can see on the roof of this sign, there is a little bit of snow. It's about an hour and a half drive from my house here, and it didn't snow at all at my house, but it's been kind of misty the entire drive, and now the mist has kind of stopped, and I think that mist is what has caused the snow on the ground, or the tiny bit of snow. It's really more like if you look on tree branches, you'll see snow on the ground. It's not sticking at all on the ground. But anyway, that might add a little something. So now I just got to figure out how to hike to this waterfall. It's a 110-foot waterfall. And as I said, it's the first time I've ever been here, so let's get to it. Well, I have walked just the tiniest amount. I'm talking like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even less than that, from the car, and I'm at the top of the falls. You can see this canyon, and I'm not gonna look too far over there because I don't want to fall, but that's the top of the 110-foot waterfall that goes down to that pool down there. So I need to figure out how to get down there to make a photograph. I think this creek is called Fall Creek, or maybe Falls Creek, and it's not. There's a state park in Tennessee called Fall Creek Falls, but this I don't think is that creek. But that is quite a drop. It's really pretty amazing. Pretty amazing indeed. I've sat down at the top of the falls so I can reach my long arms over the side without being in any danger of falling off. 110 feet. So it's a 3/10 of a mile trail with a 115-foot elevation change, and I've already hiked a pretty good little ways. So most of the elevation change is straight ahead of me. As you can see, there's the falls over there, you may be able to see, but it's time to climb down this rocky path, and I believe I'm going to put the vlogging camera up during this. I'm going to need both hands. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of vlogging now with my phone because it's easier to get out than my vlogging camera. I started up there, and then you walk along the top to right over there, and then you come down here, and then you start going down again, and eventually you'll go down there. And my goal is to kind of get somewhere back here to where I can get a shot of the whole falls. All right, well, I've made it all the way to kind of the bottom now. I'm right by the creek, as you can see behind me. At one point I kind of lost the trail, and as I was making my way back to the trail kind of made a little zig, and I kind of went straight down because I didn't realize, anyway, I messed up and I almost fell, but I was holding on to a tree, so all is well. And looking back this way, you can see the falls, and there's a little bit of stream interests going on. The pool at the bottom of the falls is actually above those rocks there, and I may try to go up there and get a shot just straight of the falls. I'll definitely need an ultra wide for that. So far I'm still using the 18 to 55 at 18 here on the X-T3. So now I have the Tokina ultra wide on, and I'm at about 13.5 millimeters on this shot, and I don't want my exposure to be too long, but this shot right here is ISO 400 because at 160 my exposure was too long, 4 seconds, and I think I'm at f11. You have to, on this lens, you just, because it's a Nikon lens adapted to the Fuji, and you just turn this all the way one way is wide open 2.8, all the way the other way is all the way stop down, and I'm one click from all the way stop down. I think that's probably f11, although it might be f16. But the composition is pretty cool. It's got the waterfall coming in kind of rule of thirds top left, and this little spill directly in front of me, kind of rule of thirds bottom and maybe bottom right. And I'm probably going to crop that. Hopefully I can crop it 4x5 and have it be about right. I might have to crop it 5x7. Okay, so I've got kind of a fun idea. I've got my phone hooked up via Bluetooth to the camera, to the X-T3, so I can trigger a shot from remote. And you know, the falls is huge, but you can't really tell it in the picture. So I'm going to try to climb up onto one of those boulders, and while I'm there, trigger a shot and try to make a hero shot. So we'll see how that goes. Well, the selfie shot worked. I made a bunch of them. I'm tiny in the frame. It's hard to tell if I stood still enough, because I think it was a 2.5 second exposure or something like that. It is actively sleeting and snowing right now, just barely. And while I was up there on that boulder, it looks like I might be able to go up there and set up a composition. So I'm going to try to get a little closer shot. This shot I like because it has this stream down in front of the waterfall in it, with a second fall and a little whitewater area here. But that shot up there has the beautiful pool at the bottom of the falls. So I'm going to try to get that shot, and man, am I ever glad I packed my ultra wide today. I'm really thrilled with the way this one came out. The detail was really good. That little Tokina 11-16 lens is still sharp even after all the years that I've owned it. And I love the composition of this shot, and having myself standing on that huge boulder really shows the scale of the scene. You probably couldn't even tell how big those boulders are right there without me standing there. I'm 6'3", and of course I've mentioned that the waterfall is 110 feet tall, and then the stream continues down in the foreground and is really beautiful all the way. And I like the leaves on the right hand side and the moss and the lichens. Really love this photo. These conditions are tough. These conditions are tough. It's snowing, and I think you might be able to see a little bit of snow particles starting to build up on my camera bag, and it's also getting on my polarizer. And man, it's cold, but it sure is nice here. That was contradictory. Snow's starting to come down a little bit harder now. I'm going to try to go over there to the side and get kind of a side shot at the falls. The canyon's higher on that side, so if I'm shooting from over there, I may be able to get a shot of the falls without too much sky in it, which, you know, I don't like that. All right, I've climbed up here onto this shelf. The overhang at the top is actually sticking out further than I am, so I'm shielded from the rain, and I've got my camera right here as far out as I can get it without going off the side. And from here I can get a pretty nice shot of the entire falls. It's pretty close to having some branches and stuff in the way, but they're not in the way, and you can see the beautiful blue water down below. I've been here at Ozone Falls now for about an hour and 45 minutes, and I finally got a composition that I actually like. All the ones leading up to this, I thought, well, that's kind of cool, but I really wanted something special, and I think I finally got something. I still have the Tokina 11-16 ultra wide lens on, but I've gone horizontal now, and with that lens is so wide, I can get the entire 110-foot waterfall in a horizontal shot. And I can get some of this canyon wall here as a foreground interest, and I can get a lot of the canyon to the right of the falls. So I can see the entire falls, not too much light above the falls, maybe just a little bit there in that little spot. And the beautiful pool in the bottom, which the polarizer is making look even prettier than it is to the naked eye. And even though the snow has stopped, I'm still having to wipe my lens off in between shots. And another thing, I figured out how to focus better. What I've been doing is you know, I don't really know what the f-stops are, but I open this thing up wide open, adjust the shutter speed to where the exposure is right. Then I can focus. And then once the focus is right, then I can stop it back down 2 or 3 clicks, readjust my exposure to where it's right, set my 2-second timer, make sure my, there's a lot of steps. Make sure my filter is wiped off, make sure my circular polarizer is turned correctly, then make the shot. So it's a process, but I think the shot's going to be worth it. I mentioned in the video that I thought this was my favorite composition of the day, but now that I've had a chance to look at both of them, I really like the first shot that I showed you better than this one. I just could not keep all the moisture off of my circular polarizer, and because of that, there's some defects in this photo that I was unable to correct. Otherwise, I really like it. I'm all packed up and ready to go, and you know, I came in and followed the trail, which starts directly above me and goes way down there and then meanders down. But I think I can walk, on the way out, I think I can walk up this shelf and it might take me all the way there. So I am going to attempt that right now. These rocks, you know, there's been a lot of wet rocks today, but none of them had been really slick. You know, when I was at Foster Falls last week, it was pretty slick. But these rocks, for whatever reason, are not very slick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can walk right up to where the trail goes down. Over there. Woo, water. This place is really great. I highly recommend you visit sometime. And just like Foster Falls, this place in the summertime is supposed to be really crowded, and there's not much parking. Not much parking at all. But today, in the middle of December, I am the only person here. I mean, absolutely all by myself. Yeah, so right up here is where I went the other way. I'll show you when I get there. So you can keep going that way and it hikes right up to the road. But I went down, no, it's right over here. I think it's right here. Yeah, it's right here. I went down right here, which takes you to the lower part, which is better for photography. I thought. Turns out up here was where I got my best shot. And this, I put my vlogging camera up when I came down this part right here on the way in, because I thought it was going to be extraordinarily difficult. And it's definitely not easy, but the rocks make almost kind of a staircase as you come up and down this thing. Yeah, I mean, it's really not that bad. It looks a lot worse than it is. Wouldn't be a bad idea to put a handrail in here, but I'm pretty sure-footed. I mean, I'm not David Saylor sure-footed, but I'm pretty sure-footed. So I don't have too much trouble walking right up this thing. Oh man, it does get tiring though. Okay, so right here, I'm on the side of the highway. And the parking area is down that way. But I'm gonna follow the trail back because I want to look off the top again before heading home. Oh, a little bit of a climb right there. Oh cool, you can see where the snow has stuck in some places up here at the top of the canyon, like on that deadfall branch there. So now I'm walking back at the top of the canyon, right above where I walked out this way just a moment ago. Whew, I'm a little winded. Not too bad. These berries are pretty right here. It's funny, while you're down there in the canyon, even though you're close to the highway, you can't hear the traffic at all. But you can definitely hear traffic up here. Oh man, this place is awesome. Whew, I am tired. Yeah, I can see the falls again from here. I'll show you. Oh wow, you can see the whole falls from here. It's almost worth the picture, but there's just a few too many trees in the shot. You can see, that's where I was standing, right down there when I made my shot, kind of to the left. Now we'll meander our way along a little bit further. It looks like it's a little bit easier to go this way. So going that way on the trail takes you to the parking area, and over here takes you to the top of the falls, which is where I came when I first came out here and talked to you. It was from down here. It rained all day yesterday, and as you can see, we've had a little bit of precipitation this morning. Not much, but I would say that this Ozone Falls is flowing more than its average. I'd say it's probably not peak flow because we're not like in flood conditions, but we had a lot of rain overnight and a lot of rain yesterday, so it's flowing pretty good. And there it is. Now we're at the top, just like that. Really cool. And you can walk right over here. You know, I got my rain boots on. I'm a good 20 feet, 15 anyway, upstream now. So if I slip, I won't fall off the edge, in case you're wondering. But I can stand right in the creek. And there it is as it goes over. And then this morning, that shot at the beginning of the video, I sat right there. Oh, I think I can sit right here and actually not have to sit all the way down and hang the camera off the side. Yeah, that's a lot easier than sitting all the way down for my old fat, tired self. Beautiful place. Now I'm gonna head to the car. So, as my good buddy David Sailors would say, get your camera out and take a picture. And as my friend down under, Adrian Alford, would say, never stop creating. Those are great slogans. Both of those guys have really great slogans. And I appreciate you joining me for today's hike and photography here at Ozone Falls. If you like the content, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.